All right, we're back in the closet. Silence.
I'm freezing.
You're cold. Really?
I know, something new.
Really odd.
I know.
A little chilly.
It is. It snowed today.
It did. It snowed really hard this morning.
It was stupid.
And then it all melted.
Jeff's like, oh, it's so pretty. And I'm like, no, it's really not. It needs to go away.
You got hair in your mouth?
Do I have hair in my mouth? I don't know. Probably.
You got it.
No, I didn't. It's on my tongue.
Oh, is it? Well, then you got it all in your mouth because a little bit it was hanging out. I thought you maybe...
I don't know what happened there. But anyway, it snowed. It's over. It's done. Hopefully that's the only snow for the season. Haha. Just kidding.
Ain't gonna happen.
Nope. It's only January.
It's gonna be more.
It's only January.
It's only January.
It's only January.
It's that month, yo.
22 more days, right? Today's the 7th.
Today would be... Yes.
So 22 more days, y'all.
22
I'll
more
be the
days.
double four. Double fours.
Double fours, yo.
I'm getting old, man.
Well, let's chat about what do I got here? Successful people. I don't think we've done this, but 12 things successful people do differently. Let's see if what we think about this since we're so successful.
Oh, we're just so successful.
No, it could be great. Sorry, I don't want to lose my voice. My voice got clogged there for a moment.
I see that.
12 things successful people do differently. They create and pursue focused goals. They create and produce.
Didn't say produce.
They didn't. They create, which would be producing.
Right.
They create and pursue focused goals.
I mean, that's obvious.
I would think so.
That's obvious.
I would think that's not real tricky.
No. I mean, what's focused goals versus just goals? I mean, like, I don't get that.
Are there passive goals and then non-passive goals? Is that, I mean, there shouldn't be, should there?
What do you mean passive? That's not even in the thing.
I know, but my point is are there some that's like, it's just a...
I think some people make goals like that. Yeah, they like need to put something down. Everybody else is making goals, so let me make some goals here. And then they put them to the side and they never look at it again.
Right.
I have a client of mine who she says her and her husband each year on New Year's Eve they sit down or write down their goals for the year. And then the following New Year's Eve, they look at their last year's goals and they see if they met them, and then they burn the list and start over. They literally burn the list.
That's a cool tradition.
Yeah. So sometimes they reach the goals and sometimes they don't. Right?
Right.
And I think that's, I mean, it's good to have goals and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. I think you can be successful. I mean, you have to have goals, right?
Absolutely.
You have to have goals.
Absolutely. And you have to have, if they mean like measured goals by focused, like where you're really keeping up with, it's not like you just say, I got a goal for this year.
You actually work on it.
And then you look at it in a year and say, did I meet this goal? It's more like I've got a goal for this year, but I've got to look at my progress every day, every week, every month, every quarter, whatever that might be to make sure you're getting there. And then you make adjustments if you're not getting there.
True. Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's move on. I'm so tired of talking about goals. It's like
I know,
January
I'm
7th,
with
and
you.
it's
I'm
like
with you.
every 5 seconds. Which goals are important? I'm not saying that, but you know.
Well,
let's move on.
Another thing successful people do is they take decisive and immediate action. I like that.
I do like it, but immediate scares me. What if you? I mean, like.
I think that's you though. That's you. You make a decision and you do it.
Oh,
you don't
yeah,
worry
I guess
about it.
I
I think
do.
that's what they're saying. That reminds me of you because, and that's true because I know successful people and they're usually decisive. They usually don't sit there and go, I got to think about it. I got to sleep on it. I've
Gotta wait till the time's right.
Let me make sure the time. They just say, it's a good idea. It makes sense. I'm not going to just think about it until I talk myself out of it.
I think it can bite you in the butt sometimes, though, doing that.
So, you never look back. Once
Right.
you pick a direction and you've decided that it's better to move forward in that direction, you can't look back.
I do that with my tattoos.
You get them and then don't look back?
No, I mean, if I decide, like the time that I got the tattoo on the top of my foot, this does not make me successful. It has nothing to do with being successful.
Take notes, people.
But No, we were driving to Charlotte, and I was the type of person who's like, I'm never going to get a tattoo. But then I started tinkering around with the, I said tinkering.
You just said tinkering. And we
I
are
definitely am
tanking
getting
quickly.
old. I started messing around with the idea of getting a tattoo. Anyway, we were on this trip to Charlotte, and I was like, I want to get that tattoo. And you're like, yeah, I know you do. I was like, no, I mean like now. Like the next, I'm going to research the closest tattoo shop, and we're going to go there. And the Sinners and Saints came up in Lake Norman, remember? And I said, we're getting off here. We're going to get done. You were like, now? I was like, yeah, I want it down. I want it now. And remember, we got off the exit. We got it done. That's how I make decisions. But sometimes I'm trying to think of an example where that kind of bit me in the butt.
Well, those impulsive...
Like getting any dog. That's dumb.
But, well, the impulsive decisions, I think when we're talking about successful, we're talking about maybe in your business or in your finances or in your life.
I said it had nothing to do with being successful.
I know, but I just want to clarify that being crazy and doing more shots. Because you're like, everybody, let's do some shots.
No, I gave the preface that I was going off the successful train for a second. I was just giving an example of taking a decisive and immediate action. When it was fine and it worked out fine with my tattoos, and then anytime we got an animal, maybe that's more impulsive. But it is immediate action. We decided we wanted a dog, and we got one.
And it's
all
regretful.
4 or 5 times we've been so pissed that we ever did it. Again. Runyons will never own another dog once these 2 are gone. Mark my words.
Oh, she just jinxed us.
I'm not.
You just jinxed us.
I'm not. I ordered these watch bands. I just want to put this out there real quick. I'm going way off track. But I ordered these watch bands for my Apple Watch. And on the Amazon app, I zoomed in, and it looked like there was a leopard print one and a kind of a paisley one. And then there was a black and white, which kind of looked like a black and white leopard print, or not really a zebra print. So I was like, okay, that's cute. I got them. No. The black and white one is a freaking white watch band with dog prints on them. If you see me wearing that watch band, like little doggy print watch bands, Angie needs...
She's lost her mind.
I've lost it.
She's gone crazy, people.
So if you want it, you can have it. If you have my type of watch. Anyway.
Yeah, just hit her up. 38 millimeter Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Series 3. I don't
Okay.
think that matters.
You can have it. I'll give it to you gladly if you like little doggies. Because I'm not a big... I mean, you know, they're all right. But anyway, moving on. Sorry, I went way off track. Okay.
So that's a good one, though. I think
it's good.
I think that I don't know about... You know what? I like decisive... This list has extra words in it that I'm not a big fan of. Focused, not a big fan of. Either make goals or don't make goals, but the goals should always be focused, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't make them.
An immediate, I think that...
I don't like... Yes.
You could take it out. Just make just...
Decisive.
Take decisive and take action. Like, don't just sit around on it. But immediate, like, you need to think that crap through.
Right. Decisive. I think you can be decisive and say, okay, look... We want to make this move for our podcast or our social media, and we want to do it. So we meet about and we talk about it for 30 minutes to an hour, and then, or not even that long. But say we mull it over and we're arguing a little bit back and forth whether we should do this or not, right?
Right.
Well, at the end, we weigh the pros and cons, and we're going to go with it. We're not going to be like, you know what? Let's revisit this tomorrow or next month.
Yeah.
Let's just make a decision not to do it, or let's make a decision to do it and go.
I don't know. I think the
the immediate is scary to me because that's more of an impulsive word. And I know people are breaking down this list like we're pros, and we are. So don't forget it.
We are not, in fact, pros about this. But, no, but I do like the next one.
I love the next one.
I do like that. I agree with every word.
And I'm going to let you read it.
Oh, thank you. They focus on being productive, not being busy. I see so many people say, being so busy, running around, chasing their tail.
It's a huge problem.
What did you get done? You didn't get anything done. Right?
Yes. It's something we've all done probably in our life at some point.
You know why? Because we overschedule ourselves.
Well, and we trick our brains. And then we become martyrs.
I guess, but...
And then you're not getting anything done. You're just saying, I'm busy.
But I think a lot of times... At least, I don't know if men do this, but because I'm not a man, but I know women, a lot of times we don't say no to anything. Like, we don't know how to say no. So we just say, you want to be on the PTA? Sure. You want to be a homeroom mom? Sure. Do you want to be the the team mom, sure, like everything's yes, and then you find yourself over, like you're just busy, but you don't really get anything done. You drop the ball on everything because you're so overcommitted, right?
This is true, but I bet there's a lot of husbands that would disagree with the moms not saying no to things.
Okay, well, here we go. I told you guys the month of January, there will not go one podcast
another one
that
down.
JMR will not refer to anything sexual. I promise you, it won't happen. It can't happen. It's not going to happen. I'm going to win this bet. Let's bet something now.
Let's do it.
And I'm not going to remind you. That's your.
I know. I remembered as I was making that statement.
I mean anything sexual.
So can I edit that out after we close this? Okay.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I just think it's funny. Ew, why are you bleeding?
I'm not
Where's
sure.
that blood coming from?
I think from my hand.
You just
I
wiped
got
your...
a little cut right there.
Oh, it's a baby cut. What'd you do?
I don't know if I cut it like... I don't know what I did.
There's nothing on this table or around this microphone.
Well, I did something. You cut me when I wasn't looking. And you did it on purpose.
Anyway, yeah, I think overcommitment's a problem, and then you just are busy running, trying to get all this done, and you're just not, you're not productive.
Yeah, focus on being productive, not being busy.
Right. I like that.
Which means, like you said, you have to decide what you're going to say no to every day.
Yeah, I'm
so
better.
that you can be productive.
I'm better at saying no, especially since my kids are older. You know what I mean?
You've
I don't
gotten a
know what
lot
it
better
is.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, I just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like tonight, Brooke was like, when you, oh gosh, I'm going to sneeze.
Here we go.
I'm really sorry. No, I only do one sneeze, unlike some drama queens around here that
Listen,
does
I
like
cannot control that.
500 sneezes in one. But she was like, you know, can you take so-and-so home tonight when you get home? They only live 5 minutes away. And before I would have been like, oh my gosh, I guess. And I'm like, no, I can't. I'm too busy.
Well, that's
it felt so
because
good to say
you have
no.
to set boundaries with them because they continue to take advantage.
A lot of people take advantage. When you say yes to everything, you become a yes person, and they're like, just ask Angie to do it. She'll do anything.
True.
Not anymore. I'm a no girl. Don't ask me to do anything because it's going to be no. I'm a no girl. I'm going to simplify my life. I'm going to streamline this shit.
You're not a totally no girl.
Yes, I am. For the most
Everything's a
part.
no?
For the most part. Try me. Try me.
Would you like to go get wine later?
No, I would like you to go get wine for me later.
Okay, you're going to be successful.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
This table is killing me and everybody listening right now.
You know what? I can't help it. You told me to lean in closer to the microphone. I almost said microwave. Microphone. I lean in. What am I supposed to do? I have to lean on my elbows. I'm so... God.
What are you guying me for?
You give me these...
Guy, man.
You're giving me these looks across the table like, get your elbows off the table. You're making noise.
I did not give you that look.
You did. You don't see yourself.
I gave you a look of, you're right, baby. You're right.
You did not
I
give me
did
that
do
look.
that.
Your looks are...
I did do that.
Well, there's
and-
some malfunction. Because that's not the look I got.
Well, I like to mess with you a little bit. And just for reference, my elbows are on the table when it was in. I go like this.
I can't do that.
No, I'm saying I'm the one that was saying it's noisy because I had my elbow. I wasn't talking about you.
I don't have a giraffe
So
neck.
put your freaking jump to conclusions, Matt, back.
You know what? You know
in
what would solve this
your
whole
pocket.
damn problem?
Get rid of the damn table.
Bingo.
It's happening.
We could do it right now. We just made a decision. Let's take immediate action.
Immediate action.
We
This is
can't.
going to be loud, people. We got to take the mic
Sorry.
apart.
Well, yeah, we can't because the mic's hooked to the table, but we will fix it.
Listen, this
Promptly.
table, we are going to jump on it like they do at college football games. Where
You
they
can.
jump off of a car onto the table and break it.
Go
So
ahead.
We're going to do that. We're
I
going to
can't-
chug beers.
I can't
and we're
afford
gonna
to
jump
get hurt.
on the table.
I can't afford to get
If
hurt.
you do it right, you won't. If you're drunk enough, you will not get
Oh
hurt.
my gosh. Move on. What's next?
They make logical, informed decisions. Now, wait a minute.
I'm so
It's
confused.
hard to make informed decisions if you take immediate action.
Well, that's
Or
true.
do you,
decide, once you decided, then take immediate action?
once you are informed, then you take immediate
Yeah,
action?
I can see that.
There you go. We figured that one out.
I think they put that in there for filler. I think they wanted 12, and they said they were going to do 12, and they're like, you know what? Let's just... That's your phone.
No,
Let's
my
just,
ringer's off, baby.
Oh, shoot. Maybe that was mine. Dang. Yeah, you're right. I think that's filler, because I think that's, I mean, of course they make logical, informed decisions. You're not going to make bad, stupid decisions and be successful. I mean, that's obvious. I don't know about this list, Jeff.
That's true.
Where'd you get this? Found R? I don't know, but...
All right. They avoid the trap of trying to make things perfect. That's a good one.
Well, that is a trap, because that's a trap that you fall into a lot, right?
Yes, I don't want to do things. We talked about this on one of our recent podcasts where I have had the problem in the past, and I still have that instinct, that impulse to say, whoa, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
So don't do it yet.
Even doing that with I keep referring to TikToks, but when we're making these videos, and if it's any video, even if we're doing a video on, Instagram or on my Snap, you have to I think I can do better. Let's do this. And I just throw them on there.
Look. I am the next Quentin Tarantino.
Are you?
Yes.
Can I get out now?
I'm not going to look like him.
No, I'm not even talking about that. He's psycho.
Famous and successful. And
actually, he is successful.
He is very, very successful.
He really is intelligent.
And maybe he's not crazy. Maybe he just likes people to think he's crazy. Because he's very successful and you don't hear about him being in any crazy trouble.
I don't hear about him ever.
Exactly.
Where did he come from? Why did you just say him? There are so many other people.
Because he's a great director and I couldn't think of any others.
Stephen King?
Stephen King writes books.
He directs.
Does he direct or does he just write the books and sell them to movies? Did they make movies about his books?
I don't know. But nonetheless, he's successful.
He is very successful.
Anyway, Quentin Tarantino was just really odd for you to say.
I like his stuff.
Have you seen his movie? That movie, you said you were going to watch with me one day?
Yes.
4 Rooms?
We never got to watch that.
I know, we need to watch that this weekend or sometime. Let's watch it soon.
We can watch it whenever you want. We're going to be out of town
this weekend, but... It is the most bizarre movie, and I watched it when you spent your summer in Africa back in our college days.
Right.
And I remember sitting up in my room being like, what even is happening right now? It's a strange movie, y'all.
I can't wait to watch it.
I don't like Pulp Fiction.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
I know. I think I'm the only person on this planet that doesn't like the movie. And yes, I've watched it. What are you doing to my shoe?
I'm itching my knee and I'm touching you.
That's my shoe.
While I'm itching my knee, I must be rubbing my knuckles are rubbing your shoe. Sorry folks, for you having to hear that kinky stuff.
I think that I'm the only person probably that doesn't like it. And yes, I've watched it a few times.
Yes, people, she's watched it a few times.
And I probably complained.
Very clever.
I'm not denying that.
The dialogue, and then Bruce Willis, I guess you're just over him now. I used to love him.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I used to have the biggest crush on Bruce Willis. Not so much anymore. But yeah. I was a Bruce Willis fan.
You were a big-time Bruce Willis fan.
Oh, yeah, I was. But I'm not now.
She made me shave my head once.
No, you shaved your head on your own accord, but Jeff's going to shave his head again one day. When his hairline recedes back so far, he says that he's shaving it off.
Oh, I shave it off. I have no problem with that.
That's going to be weird. Because it's going to happen at some point, because it happened to your dad's hair. Right? Your brother.
My dad was gone by now. He was in his late 30s. His hair was gone.
And your brothers.
Jonathan and Jay were done in their early 30s.
Right.
I have my hair. I don't know why, but I got the hair.
Yeah, you do.
I got it. But see, people are like, always have told me that it's going to go because I have this receding hairline. But is it receding or it's always been back there? It's like a widow's peak.
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see. I don't know. I'd have to compare pictures.
It's getting gray, that's for sure.
It is definitely getting gray. Don't do that with your hair. Don't. Y'all. Anyway, we're way off track. Sorry. Anyway.
What's the next one?
We aren't going to make things perfect, so we know that. That's it. Back to that for a second.
Yes, just like I like that topic.
We've said it before. Just like we started this podcast, just like I started my business, just like we had all these kids. We weren't really waiting for the right time, making sure everything was just We were like, hey, let's start a podcast. I want to. Let's get a microphone. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we still haven't really upgraded.
And that's all right. And that's kind of how I started my business. It was like, you know what? Let's start this. Jeff just was playing around with names. We got a name. We got the logo. Boom. Within a couple of weeks, I was up and running.
Yeah. Cool.
So I do think that is what successful people do. They just go with it because I don't know if this is on the list. Hold on. Yes, it is on the list. Can we skip?
Yeah, we can jump around.
Okay. Number 10 says they maintain a positive attitude as they learn from mistakes. So if you make a decision when things aren't exactly perfect, or if you take immediate action, or if maybe you're not thinking logical and make a mistake, instead of tucking your tail and like, oh, forget it, I can't do this, I don't know what I'm doing, you learn from your mistake. What did you do wrong? And you fix it. And that's what I talk about a lot in, with my clients, who we all know when you start a fitness journey, it's not going to go perfectly. There's going to be a time when you fall off. There's going to be a time when you hit a wall, when you hit a plateau, when you have a bad week, something happens and you're an emotional eater and you eat too much, something like that. Instead of just saying, oh my gosh, I guess this just fitness world isn't for me, I guess I can't do it. It's what you do at that moment, and that's a pivotal moment. You identify what went wrong and fix it, right?
Right, exactly.
And I think that's what successful people do. They don't quit. They learn from their mistakes. They learn from their failures. And it's really not a failure. It's a teaching moment.
No, I think that's where people really screw up, is they think failing at something is a negative thing, when that's getting you ahead of the game.
Right.
Instead of sitting back and trying to figure it all out and then starting at the right time.
Yeah.
Go make the mistake, because guess what? Even if you start when you think the right time is, you're going to make mistakes, and possibly the exact same mistakes, but you're going to make them 2 years later.
Yeah.
And then you're 2 years behind because you didn't just say, I know I want to do this with my life. I know I want to do it. I know I want to start this business, or I want to start this journey, whatever it is. And you're like, but let me get my ducks in a row.
Right.
Well, just get your ducks in a row while you're going, and maybe we're crazy. But I think that's wise, and I think that's a great one, that you're maintaining a positive attitude.
Right.
And see that, like, I didn't realize that. Like, I remember, and it's funny when it hit me that you can always fix things, you can always correct.
Right.
I grew up in a house where everything was like, the house was always spotless, things were always in place, spills were a big deal.
Right.
And like when I had kids and something would get knocked over, at first I would freak out, right?
Right.
But then all of a sudden it like clicked one day. It was like, you just clean it up.
Yeah. So they make paper towels for,
right.
bro.
You just clean it up and you're good. It's not a big deal. Nobody did it on purpose.
Spills, right?
You clean. If they're pouring it out, then get pissed, right?
Yeah.
If they're pouring it out and going F you, Dad, that's one thing. But if they knock it off the table because they're
happen.
laughing or just goofing or whatever, don't lose your crap.
Right.
But that's when it clicked for me, and in life, in things I've tried, it's basically, I'm like, hey, if we mess it up, I can fix it.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Right.
We can redo it, whatever it might be. But anyway.
Word. This one is good, and I preach about this all the time. They work outside of their comfort zone. The comfort zone is the most dangerous zone for you to be in, and whatever it is in your life, whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's relationships, whether it's parenting. If you get in a comfort zone,
oh, it's so dangerous.
Beware.
Yes.
I've been in a comfort zone in so many areas of my life, and it has gotten me nowhere but trouble.
I agree with that.
Nowhere
100%.
but trouble.
And that's what our brains are kind of programmed to do, is what's weird, right?
Right. Because you want to be
Programmed
comfortable.
to get comfortable, just like retirement. It's like you're gonna work the majority of your life, and then all of a sudden you're just gonna stop doing what you've done, and you're gonna be happy, and everything's gonna be blissful and wonderful, right?
Right. It's the most dangerous place to be. I mean, you don't ever want to be in your comfort zone, and if it's easy, you're gonna have to shake it up and make it hard. That's what I tell my people with fitness. If your workouts are getting easy, if you're not leaving the gym just like, oh my gosh, I'm this or that, then you're gonna have to shake it up. And the same thing with your marriage and your relationships with people. If you're just like, and go through it and just you're comfortable, or you better be checking with your significant other to make sure everything's right on check.
I agree.
Because if you're super comfortable, yes, it's nice we've just talked about this. It's nice to be comfortable in relationships, but if you get too comfortable, you better be checking in. Because you better be checking in. That's all I'm saying. Same thing with your kids. If everything seems to be going great and everything, just check. Just make sure that you're not in the comfort zone.
Yeah, and that's not a negative attitude. That's
no, I'm not trying to be negative.
Well, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying, to clarify for people, it's not negative to have a mindset of checking in, because what happens is you might be in a comfort zone, but then like in relationships, like we've talked about, then you neglect the other party, right?
Right.
Just like at work, you might be in a comfort zone, and you've gotten this groove, but then you've neglected other parts of your job or something you're supposed to be doing for somebody on a regular basis. And you don't know until it blows up.
You don't get any change out of anything if you stay in a comfort zone. Comfort zones, you will not change.
No,
you will just maintain what you're doing, maybe, or you may even actually make it worse.
Right, and you've got to challenge yourself.
Yeah. The next one is, and I like this. They keep things simple. I hate when people try to overcomplicate things.
Yeah, I've done that.
I mean, why is this so hard? Just keep it simple.
Right.
And I think I alluded to that fact on one of my IGTVs this week. Well, it's only Tuesday, so it had to be yesterday's. That, you don't overdo it. Just keep it simple. Like, people get overwhelmed and frustrated. Like, when I keep going back to fitness, and I'm sorry, it's just because that's my job.
No, it's a good example.
But, they get overwhelmed and frustrated with their fitness journey, when they decide to start one, and it's why. And it's because they commit too much too fast. They want to do everything. Just like these lists. They want to do everything perfect, or they wait till the right time, and it's really not the right time, or they, fail, and then they quit. It just all goes back to that.
Well, you know what?
But if you keep it simple, and what I mean by simple in a fitness journey is get a workout plan, write down what you're going to eat for the week, and execute it. That's how simple. Don't worry about anything else. Oh, am I doing it the right way? Is this the right way to eat? Is this the best? Should I do keto, or should I do carb cycling, or should I do carnivore, or should I do Weight Watchers, or should I do this, or should I do that? Do I need to do intervals? Do I need to do sets and reps? Do I need to do Tabata? Just freaking move your body and eat better.
Make small adjustments,
well,
and then you will naturally fall. You will naturally fall in love with the habits or the process, and you will make bigger changes that you can handle.
Right, and this piggybacks on just what you said on number 8 on this list. They focus on making small, continuous improvements. I like that one. I think that is my most favorite one on this list. They focus on making small, continuous improvements. Baby steps. Right?
Yes.
But continuous baby steps. When you take continual baby steps, you still get there. And it's the best process to take versus trying to start from your beginning point and taking giant leaps to try to get to the I pushed a button. To try to get to the finish line. Just like in a race. People will start out gung-ho and they'll sprint, right?
Yeah.
The person who's kind of laying back and running a little slower at the start is probably going to be better off, because slow and steady wins the race is so cliche, but it's so freaking true. Small, continuous improvements. You'll stick with it a lot better doing it that way.
I agree.
Right? It might take a little longer, but in the long run, it's going to stick. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got on a high horse. I got on a tangent.
I was going to piggyback off of what you're saying.
Language. Piggyback.
Because you were doing the fitness thing, but I can talk in the same space because I do sales consulting,
right?
Sales training. I help people set goals. I work with them through the year in hitting their sales numbers. And this time of year, at the end of the year, you're setting goals, and that's what people want to do. They want to put up these big numbers, right? They want to talk about big numbers, which can only discourage you if you don't get there.
Yeah.
So you have to look at your trends. You have to look at your staff. You have to look at all these factors. And for somebody to come out and say, I'm going to do this much better this year, I'm going to say, what is the game changer this year versus the last 3 years that we've looked at as a total average? Because, you've had a big year last year, so you think you can do that again, but you had much smaller years of 2 years before and beyond, so that's your norm, right? Mm-hmm. So what happened this year that got you, you hit some big accounts that you've been working on for years, so that put you over the top and it made you a lot more money. So now you think you can do that same number this year. Well, do you have big accounts you're working on that could hit? What's your close ratio? What are we looking at here? But let's not put that big number up, because if we get to the first quarter and you're way down, you start to get discouraged.
Yeah.
Or do we need to hire people to hit that number? Do you need to hire? Do you need to do some? But anyway, My point is people tend to, when they set a goal, go too high, go too hard. I mean, I'm all about shooting for the stars. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you have to have those, like we talked about a few podcasts ago, you have to have those small, like, short-term goals to reach to keep you going in that direction.
You got to get the momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
The last two on the list, I think we've covered everything except these last two. And I like one of them for sure. The other one I'm like, eh. The one I'm on is they spend time with the motivational people. Okay, let me talk about that for a second.
I don't even know what that means.
Yes, motivational people are great, and you should have motivational people in your life. People who encourage you, people who motivate you. But please don't depend on that.
Oh, no.
Right?
Yeah.
It's great to be motivated. I mean, I try to motivate people, and I've been told that I motivate people, and that's great. That's wonderful, but don't depend on me. You know, don't depend on whoever it is that motivates you. You have to do it for yourself, because those people aren't always going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They can't be your fuel.
And that's what I try to tell my people when they're like, I'm just not motivated to work out today. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're motivated or not.
Nobody is.
I'm not motivated to go to work. Now, I mean, I said it this morning laying in bed. I'm like, I'm not motivated to get up. I mean, I do say those words too, but I didn't scroll through my phone and look. But let me finish. I didn't scroll through my phone. I didn't look up quotes. I got to find something to get motivated today so I can get out of this bed. No, I just got my butt up and I did it.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Motivation, that's great if it helps at times, but
sure, it's great.
That's not what gets you going.
Nope.
What gets you going is this sucks, but I'm doing it because it's what I do.
Right. That's called discipline.
I don't want to get up today. I don't want to go to work.
Right.
I don't want to freaking brush my teeth every day, but I do it.
Right. But that's what discipline is, and that's what you have to practice. And discipline is a learned behavior. You know what I mean? Motivation isn't a behavior, it's a reaction. And people rely way too much on that, especially in my industry, and it drives me insane. I don't know, I'm just not motivated. Your goals aren't freaking waiting for you to be motivated. You have to act and you have to do it, regardless if you're freaking motivated or not. Sorry. But the one I do like, actually, to end this, and this is so important. Again, I hate to keep going back to fitness, but it just fits right now. Is they maintain balance in their life. And I think that's so important. If you lose sight on the things that you love, if you lose sight on balance, if you get over obsessed with one thing, that's not good. You know what I mean? If you start this fitness journey and you're overly obsessed about it and you don't go out with friends, you don't have, if you like to have beverages, drinks, or whatever, you don't have them ever. You don't celebrate with a cake and stuff like that. That is, you're going to start to resent fitness. You're going to start to resent your fitness journey, and you may fall off. Right. You have to have that balance. Maybe you are trying to get on stage. I don't know. Maybe you are competing, and if you are, forget what I just said. Put the drinks down. Put the cake down. Get your butt to the gym right now.
That's a temporary thing.
But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You have to
goal.
have balance. You have to have fun. You have to go out. You can't just always be work.
Right.
And I think workaholics,
they lose a lot.
You think that they're the most successful people, but are they? Maybe they're successful in their business, but they're missing out on their relationships.
Are they?
They're overly stressed. They have anxiety because they never do anything fun. So you have to maintain that balance. Live life. Have fun. Don't be overly stressed about work, about the way you look. You gotta have fun, right? Am I right?
You're right. Yes, you're right.
All right.
I agree.
Perfect. I like that one. So the list, I think, because we dissect these lists. Because who are we? I don't know who these people are who wrote these lists. They're probably psychologists or like some sort of like really important people. And there's me and you are tearing their list apart. Well, we're practical everyday people.
No, but we're practical everyday people, and we've got real life goals, and we've failed at our goals, and we've screwed things up, and we've not done it the right way.
We're just average Frank and Karen over here.
So that's right, Frank and Karen.
And
the Frank and Karen podcast. We should change it.
And we should.
But I like the list. It's just we helped adjust it a little bit.
I'm sure they'll change it.
There's a million of those lists.
I know.
Okay.
But I like it. It was good. So there's some tips on how to be successful. So, there you go. And that's our spin on it.
Take it and run.
So I think it's wine time. Speaking of living a balanced life. Angie has to have her wine every night.
It's wine time.
What's wrong with that?
Hey, I have my wine
Some
every night.
people freak out. They're like, what do you mean you drink wine every night? I'm like, did I stutter? I drank a glass or two or three. Okay, well, it's time to go.
We're out, people.